What's going on, everybody? In this video, I know the main question you guys really want to know is, should I buy a Penn Slammer 4? Now this video, I try to go in depth, and actually this reel I've gutted. I completely tore it apart, wanted to see how the reel is sealed, wanted to see the gearing inside, wanted to see how the drag system was put together, and that's kind of more what we're going to go into. This video is not going to be looking at the specs and saying, holds 250 yards, a 10-pound test, has 20 pounds of drag. If you want to know that information, you head over to fishstrong.com. We have that broken down for every single size Slammer 4 we have in our tackle shop. Instead, I want to elaborate a little bit further on what the features are in the Slammer 4. What is CNC gearing? What is IPX6 sealing? What is Dura Drag? Instead of just reading off the box, I want to explain in layman's terms what all these features are so you guys can determine if this is going to be your next reel for whatever inshore fish you want to target. So to start, what does CNC gear technology really mean? Well, CNC gearing stands for computerized numerical control. It is a process where computers are determining exactly how deep all these teeth are cut in the main gear and how well the main gear and the pinion mesh together. It's pretty much the epitome of what precision means. So they are computer designed gears. They mesh very, very well. And in the case of the Slammer 4, it is a brass main gear up through all of the series. When you jump up into the DX series, it's going to be a stainless steel gear, but in the Slammer 4 2500 size and up, it is brass. What are the benefits of that over, say, an aluminum main gear, like what's in the Spinfisher 6? Well, technically, brass is a little bit harder of a material. The teeth are going to maintain their integrity a little bit longer. It's going to wear better over time. So there are objective benefits to going with a brass main gear over an aluminum main gear. Both metals, honestly, are excellent, but the fact that you can have the higher premium metal is just a nice pro. All right, next quick highlight is the reel says it's IPX6 rated. What does IPX6 mean? Well, IP stands for ingress protection, and it's really two numbers. Okay, it's IP and then a number and a number. The first number denotes how well the product, whatever it is in other industries, is sealed from solids or dust, for example, like electronics. In the case of a spinning reel, that's kind of negligible, so that's why it's an X in this industry. But the second number really denotes how well the reel is sealed from water, which is what we really want to know as anglers. So in the case of an IPX6 reel, if you want to know the standardization, this product, okay, had jets of water hit it, and if you want to know the metrics, it's 100 liters per minute for 3 minutes at 3 meters away, or let's say 10 foot in, like, freedom units. Now, what does that mean? That, if you want to know what 100 liters per minute means in terms of pressure, take your faucet in your sink, that's like 10 liters per minute. It's like 10x that, okay? So it's a pretty substantial amount of pressure from a certain distance away for a certain period of time, and then they can confirm that water did not get into the gearbox. That's pretty cool. I personally think that's over-engineered. As fishermen, we're not gonna take jets of water onto a reel, but you have it if you need it. So those guys that are gonna get a lot of splashes or maybe even dunk quickly a reel, this reel is not fully sealed like a Van Staal, like the Authority, but it can handle weathering the elements pretty well. So that's kind of an overview of what IPX6 means for this specific reel. Kind of taking a step back and talking about the sealing aspect of this reel, it isn't just that the Slammer 4 has a ton of physical rubber seals throughout this reel. I mean, they've got it here on the base of the main shaft. They've got it on holding down the rotor in place. They've got a perimeter seal around the body. They've got seals all over this joker. It's wild, but it's that they also decided to use sealed ball bearings. Now, that's important because just because a reel on the market might have 10 or 11 or 12 ball bearings doesn't necessarily mean that it's better than another product, because it's all about the quality of the bearing that's being used and the location that these bearings are placed in a spinning reel. Penn, I can see underneath here, I see a sealed ball bearing inside the spool itself, and that pretty much means that when the drag is engaged, the spool is going to be spinning on this sealed ball bearing, which is great. There is a sealed ball bearing here at the handle entry point. There's a sealed ball bearing at the top of the anti-reverse clutch. It's pretty much the bearing on top of there. So the locations that they've included high quality bearings is great. It's not that they just slap together some shielded ball bearings that might protect you from larger particulate, like, grains of salt or whatnot. it's going to weather the elements that much better. So it's just a nice touch that Penn included in all of their reels. Now the final note, and I think this is pretty cool, is Dura Drag. Sounds fancy, right? Well, it is pretty cool. If you guys go back and you watch the Spinfisher 6 video that I put out, I kind of showcase and explain what the HT100 drag means, which is standard in just about every Penn reel that they make. HT100 stands for high tech, and then the 100, the quick story, is that when Penn was designing their carbon fiber drag, they created a system, or they created a machine to pretty much pull monofilament line and engage their carbon fiber disc drag for 100 miles, and then they assessed the quality of that carbon fiber disc, and there was no degradation. So that's pretty cool. The fact that the Dura Drag is a step up from that, they use a phenolic coating, and they pretty much bond the carbon fiber washer to the eared washer. And if I can show real quick, underneath the reel, if you want to take a look here, there's going to be this plate, okay, which is going to house the Dura Drag, which are those larger eared carbon fiber washers that are pretty much adhered together. And the Dura Drag with this coating is meant to extend the life and performance of that carbon fiber. Dude, I gotta be honest, even in the HT100 series, if it's well greased, that carbon fiber drag's already built out well, so to take it a step further is pretty cool. Again, I think it's an over-engineering aspect that Penn has done to their drag system, and I do think it's important to note that on the Slammer 4, only the 3500 size and higher has Dura Drag, but the 2500 size just includes the standard HT100, which is still a great drag system. So again, there's a lot of great things about the Penn Slammer 4. What are the things not so great about it? What are the cons or areas to consider before you buy this type of reel? Well, similarly to the Spinfisher, and with a lot of Penn reels in their solid aluminum body design, they're gonna be a little bit heavier, right? You've got, I think on this box it showed like 14 ounces for a 3500 size. The 2500 size is 11 or 12 ounces, give or take. That's heavier than other 2500 and 3000 size reels with an aluminum body by other competitors. So if you're trying to find a lighter weight reel to balance with your rods to throw finesse soft plastics, this might not be the reel best suited for that application. Can it get it done? Yeah, it's got great gearing, it's got great sealing, but it's not gonna have that refinement from a lightweight standpoint that I think other consumers are gonna be used to in feeling other products in the industry. And secondly, along that note, the gear design is excellent, but because of all of those physical seals, it might feel like the startup and the smoothness of this reel might not feel as smooth as other competitor products. Over time, this is going to wear in very well. So I can say that comfortably. I have a Slammer DX, which guys, we're gonna have a DX video coming out soon explaining what the DX series is. Gotta stay tuned for that. But I've worn my Penn my Penn Slammer 4 5500 DX model a fair bit, got some nice cobia and tarpon on it, and it actually feels smoother than when I started with it, which is pretty cool. So these reels do wear in very well after a little bit of use. So it might take some time to get used to. It might not have that buttery smooth feeling fresh out of the box. It might not feel as smooth as some other competitor products right out the get-go, but it's gonna wear in well over time. So I think that pretty much covers all of the big features in the Slammer 4. I've personally really enjoyed using my DX series for bigger fish, and I wanna hear from you guys. Have you had a good experience, a bad experience using the Slammer 4? I'm gonna read every comment that comes through on the blog we've made for this video. And an important note for you guys, if you're an insider member at Saltstrong, if you buy any reel in our tackle shop, we're gonna give you free braided line, we're gonna spool it for you, and you're gonna get free shipping. And that's just a nice perk, right? We're gonna get everything set and ready for you to go so you can just tie on some leader, get out there and go catch a whole bunch of fish. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you on the water soon.